So when we are just following these principles on a daily life, so our responses, our thoughts, speech, and action changes in relationship to the family, profession, world outside. So that is karma yoga. So one is Gyan Yoga, means yoga of knowledge. So if yoga of knowledge, yes. So if yoga of knowledge does not change my action, this is what the yoga of knowledge we are learning. So if it does not change my behavior and attitude in my daily life, then then it takes a long time to become a seeker. So, as you said, it is bringing about an evolution. Obviously, it is worth noting. So, you see that we have a couple of wonderful yoga teachers, and we all have studied the first principle, the first sutra of Patanjali. Now I'm bringing first sutra of Patanjali, Ath Yoga Anushasana. So I think I talked about it. They all are zip folder. Many files are hidden there. So when I say Ath Yoga Anushasana, the literal translation is now the discipline and education of yoga begins. Christina, where you were hiding? This baby. Where you were hiding, Christina?
Hi, sorry, I missed. What did you ask?
Yes, I asked.
I missed what you said. Sorry, what?
Where you were hiding in the last few sessions.
I apologize. I actually am at a place to help me. I had I went down a dark path, and I'm at a home that is getting me back on, helping me get a little more back on track than being at home. So
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So what I was talking that you look at the first sutra, it means Atyog Anushasana. Yeah, Clara has also joined. So when you learn in a tradition, now the discipline and education of yoga begins. That's a normal translation. So what is the meaning of now? So the master explains, now you are a seeker, that is why I am beginning this discipline. So that only one word now contains all the practices that we have been doing in the uh, in the series of becoming a seeker. Now think that we simply study, we translate into a sutra. Now the discipline of yoga begins. Okay, let us start teaching. No, I have to look inside myself. Am I ready? Am I a qualified seeker? This is what the traditional discipline teaches. Artha Yoga Anushashanam. So come back. I will what Stephen wrote to me, so I must talk about a few minutes, and then we will go to the fifth treasure. It is very important. The first thing to always remember, janati ichhati karoti. First is the right knowledge, second is the right desire, follows the right action. So choice in the intellect is right knowledge, You see, Christina, your topic has come. You say dark. Don't go to the dark. Come to the light. That is what the knowledge is. So, choice in the intellect should be right knowledge leads to right desire, and right desire leads to right action. So, whatever masters are saying that why you are learning all these, becoming a seeker, discernment, dispassion, and we have done sama, dhamma, uparati, and titiksha, the four treasures. Why we do it? This knowledge, if it is not translated into action, means karma, there is no use. Then we simply learn, we read like a fiction, and it is gone. So, whatever masters are saying, that once we learn these, becoming a seeker, these fourfold practices, it must translate into karma. Why? Because then karma becomes karma yoga. Do you see that? If you have that deeper insight, then definitely our life is going to transform. What Stephen was saying, it's an evolution. Yes, it evolves our mind, our thought, our speech, our action. And if they do not enter into karma, yoga, then this remains as a dry knowledge. Dry knowledge, thought, speech, and action. You see that discernment filters out what is real and unreal. Then it leads to dispassion. Once we have that dispassion, our intellect starts thinking about what exactly is the right desire. The ultimate desire of human life is to evolve. We are given an intellect. By the existence, we should evolve. If we do not evolve, what do you mean by evolution? One is growth. Plants grow. Then we have the word development. Then we have a word evolution. And then we have a word transformation. They all have one thing in common: change. Plants grow. Only one movement, unilateral direction. Development, when we say self development, personality development. So we have a vertical and a horizontal movement in our thought, speech, and action. What is evolution? We understand through the science the mutation. So those changes in the DNA are irreversible. So evolution means a change that is irreversible. Our goal is peace, should be irreversible. Happiness should be irreversible. And then comes the transformation. Then we will understand that later. So now let us pick up the topic of fifth treasure, that is known as Shraddha. Shraddha, you can say, translate as a belief and faith, whatever you say. But our belief or faith has one element always. We say belief pending self inquiry. No, 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 I trust you. Why you trust me? We should question. So let me give an example that will make the clear. I desire to be happy by eating pasta. Lara is laughing. Pasta is common. So I desire pasta to be happy, which is outside. Clear? But happiness is inside me. Apply the discernment. At least I should have faith in myself that happiness is within me, not in the past. Are you getting it? So, what happens unconsciously without discernment in the intellect? What we do, we link pasta with the happiness. That is my faith. That is my belief. Do you see that? I have a faith because pasta gives me happiness. That is why I'm eating pasta. Am I clear? But we want both pasta and happiness. And the link I gave to the pasta is happiness. But the happiness is within me. I have 1 million blind belief in my life. I have to drop this. One question. Second question. If you have a blind faith in the pasta that gives you happiness, and then your intellect unnecessarily questions these principles of Eastern wisdom, which you have already done for 5 or 6 months, becoming a seeker, and you have found the changes. Think of it. Think of it. So the topic is Shraddha, faith. We always add one element, faith, pending inquiry. That means we have removed the element of blind faith. No blind belief, no blind faith in the journey. If there is a blind faith, we already have a blind faith. Pasta gives me happiness. If I buy this car, this will give me happiness. Lara was telling me I bought this clothes, that gives me happiness. Do you see that? How clarity we had? So when we link binding desire with anything outside, it is blind belief and blind faith. Binding means attachment. Because I'm attached to pasta, I like pasta, I prefer pasta. That's why it gives me happiness. I don't inquire. I don't do any inquiry. But now see, is there any link between happiness and the pasta? Happiness is experienced inside me. Do you see that point? Pay this attention. Pay attention to this point. Happiness is inside, pasta is outside. I'm linking. That link is the binding desire that causes the attachment and that creates the blind belief. Oh, I'm teaching you yoga. Why should you believe me? You should maintain your awareness. You should ask questions. You should be very clear. This is what our masters always say. So that is why I told before that any teacher in this profession says, you believe me, don't believe me. Find another teacher. Simple. Find another teacher. Because you believe, you create a cult, dogma, and ultimately you both suffer. Are you clear about the blind faith? Belief in pasta giving you happiness is a blind belief. Now, belief in Eastern wisdom is always pending inquiry. So, our next treasure is belief in these teachings. Belief in these teachings. Are you clear? So you believe pending inquiry means your intellect must be convinced. The challenge with the human intellect is that until we are convinced there is a clarity, then only we have a belief and the or the faith. But we believe in the pasta without any reason. We have 1 million blind belief. That is one of the major causes of suffering in our life. I tell you, 1 million. So I'm not saying don't believe, pending inquiry. I'm stressing that this is what the master is saying. So now let us pick up the what how our masters explain this faith, Shraddha Kidroshi. So you say Guru Vedanta Vakya Adishu Vishwasa Shraddha, belief in the teachings of the principles of Eastern wisdom, pending inquiry is faith. I must inquire. So if I don't inquire, it becomes blind. We already have 1 million, we add one more. My master, you say you are responsible for your sorrow and suffering. If you believe me, you have to inquire why you believe. Honey, I love you. I trust you. But something is burning inside. No, I'm not going there. You already know we have 1 million. So now see that when the masters of the Eastern wisdom says peace and happiness are our essential nature, I must inquire. I should not leave. Okay, okay, I understand what you said. So Maharishi Aurobindo and the mother used to talk in three words. To know it is good. To know is good, right? To live, to understand is better. To practice is still better. And to be is the best. That explains what is the belief. What does it mean? Take an example. Peace is my essential nature. I know it? Yes, but no. To understand is better. Let me understand peace. Where is the location of the peace? What peace does? How peace is different from the stress? I should understand. Is the peace is a state of consciousness, or is peace is eating pasta? Simple. Then to live is better. I have to translate that knowledge into practice to experience peace. If I do not translate, I live with the blind belief. No, yes, you are right. Many people say that you are right. Peace is. You always say that. I understand that. But when I see their face, they are full of stress. Faith. We are talking of the faith. And then what Buddha did, he became an epitome of peace. Look at his statue enemies. So, three stages. The faith, when I believe or have a faith, it should be verifiable. I should be able to verify. If I am not able to verify, I move in a wrong direction and claiming that I'm doing yoga and meditation. No way at all. This is the fifth treasure. How I am to verify? Who is to verify? I am the subject of verification. If my life does not change, my behavior and attitude does not change, I am subject to the verification by learning these principles. Do you see another point? Do you understand? I am the subject of verification because I am a seeker. So, seeker must be subject to verification at every moment in life. You are living with your honey, you are doing your professional activity, you are living your social life, you have challenges. How you verify yourself that you are still in peace. That is why faith simply means, huh? Faith, literal translation, Guru Vedanta Vakya, that you should have a belief in the teacher. Why? Because the teacher is teaching from the Eastern wisdom, not from his own personal opinion. So I should verify where it is written, who is the master, what is his explanation, and then I think over it. Faith is there. Once the faith with knowledge is there in the intellect and the mind, the journey never stops of this faith. So, fifth is Shraddha. Shraddha means, so in Gita, Krishna, the great master, says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. That simply means those who have faith, pending inquiry, attains the highest knowledge of the real self. Now you can distort this principle. Many teachers distort. No, if you don't have belief in me, leave it. Why should I have a belief in you? Why should I have? I don't question. You know, you have seen many teachers. They say, no, you should have belief in me, and then I will take care of you. Why you should have belief in me? Why? We don't question this. Now let us go a little deeper, one more point, and you will be amazed at how these words were discovered, revealed by these masters. Shraddha. It has two syllables. The last syllable, dha, means intellect or holding on. That knowledge of what? Knowledge of the real self. When you are holding the knowledge of the real self from moment to moment, that is the principle of here and now. Are you getting it? Shraddha. Literal meaning faith. It has two syllables. Dha means holding on to what? Shreya. What is Shreya? The knowledge of the real self. That is Shraddha. You said me something, and oh no, you are responsible for my sorrow. Where the Shraddha is gone. So I have a belief that you caused me suffering. Not possible. Do you see a higher level of awareness? Do you see that point? Did you understand that? Shraddha, two syllable, two syllable. Holding on to the right knowledge of the real self. What is the right knowledge? Happiness is my essential nature. Nothing in the world can cause me any sorrow and suffering. My mind instantly changes. You are responsible. You caused me the miseries. Christina, are you listening? No, no, everyone is listening, but Shraddha. Shraddha means the faith. So here the literal translation of from this text, it says that you believe in the principles of Eastern wisdom taught by the teacher, and the teacher teaches from these knowledge from the text, not from his own or her own making. This master intelligently put the fifth treasure, Shraddha, after discernment, dispassion, calmness of the mind, sensory control, uparati, beyond the likes and dislikes, and endurance. Why? Because our mind has undergone an evolution. It has realized by these small, easy practices, when applied in the life, we realize that it is bringing some result in my thought, speech, and action. I'm calmer. Huh? I understand the things in the world clearly. I can filter out by discernment. Then he says, now the topic is Shraddha, the faith. If you don't have a faith, then so compare. Last point, compare daily life. You park the car in a parking lot, you have a belief nothing will happen. Sometimes it happens, car is stolen, but 99% it is not. No, I should not say, but that word is coming to me. But so I'm explaining in context. I have nothing to do with that. We are going to the mall, and who knows, the Taliban will come. We have a blind faith, blind belief, blind belief. We don't question those blind belief, and we start questioning wrongly these principles of East and West. That is the point I'm making. So the master is saying simply, here are the principles, please learn it, understand it, practice it, apply it. If it doesn't work, leave it. Where is the problem? No, I should not. So we have to remove the blind faith or blind belief in our day to day life through discernment, through dispassion, through the four treasures that we have learned. The fifth one is Shraddha. In Gita, the master says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. It's such a beautiful sentence. Those who have faith reaches to the highest knowledge of the real self. Means permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. We'll understand little deeper about this Shraddha more in our next session. So let us start our practice.